Yeah, before monitors, I was looking at headsets. I have many now. Yeah, let's lock in. Okay, so we watched the only Marvel movie that's gonna be coming out this year. And we loved it. It was the
I
fucking
think
shit,
I
dude.
loved it.
I think there's nothing else that's acceptable other than love. Right? It was the fucking shit, dude. Like it was
Dude.
everything that we expected it to be and more for sure. Like, and there's, I mean, that's all. That's it. That's period. That's end of it.
I will say I like going into it, and I'm sure by talking to you about it you already know, like I had like a little bit bigger expectations. Like I thought it would be like a bit more like have bigger implications on things than it did, but it felt like very closed loop. Like it felt like it didn't really touch anything at all. Like things are still kind of
I
the
actually feel
same.
like that is the biggest bullet point about this movie. Like when people are going to be talking about it, they'll give it its flowers and its praise off the rip, like we have. And then the first thing people will talk about is its implications in the MCU as a whole. And while I feel like they weren't direct about it, I do think that, put on your tinfoil hats, people, this was the most impactful thing that has came out since Loki by far, and I think it sets up everything that is to come really well, really well, dude. Like really well. Like,
Yeah, I
so we
don't want to
basically just saw
necessarily.
Secret Wars.
I don't want to necessarily say it doesn't have implications, but because I mean we do
I
see
think
a lot of
it
new
was the
things.
implications. I think it was all of it, but only people who have seen everything can see it. But like, it wasn't direct at all, and that's the thing about the movie that I think is unique, is that and the reason why I think it's going to get as much praise as it does is not just because of how fucking hilarious it was, because my theater was nonstop laughing for 2 hours. I'm not kidding. It was dead fucking laughter the entire time. It was awesome. But the reason it's so good is because even people who haven't been watching the shows are still gonna fucking love it, which is why the original Marvel movies were so fucking good in the golden years. You know what I mean? And I think this movie, even though if you saw Loki in the TVA, like that is the one handicap a little bit to it. But even without seeing that, I think that this movie still fucking bangs for those people.
Oh yeah.
100%, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the movie bangs, dude. Yeah, I don't know
There's
what
nothing
other
else
way
to
to put it.
say,
Yeah,
right?
it
Like, it's
straight
good
had
for
me cheesing ear to
everybody.
ear for like the entire 2 hours or however long the runtime was.
And they did such a good job of making it great for people like us who are like nerding out, watching everything, watching breakdowns and stuff. Like, they gave us just the right amount of fucking super nerdy shit to go crazy over, while still making it so that the normal person can digest this without having to have watched the shows. And I think that that is so fucking important and has been missing from a lot.
Dude, speaking on that a little bit, like in terms of like all the like cameos or like quote unquote nerd shit that they
Chef's
showed,
kiss.
dude.
Yeah, talk to me about it, bro. Talk to me.
Okay, it was freaking cool. Like there was a lot of stuff that popped. First of all, let's just talk about Chris Evans. Okay,
Let's
Chris
talk about it.
Evans,
Let's just talk about it.
dude.
The red and blue arm, so that we thought that it was. I mean, and then in the
Yeah, they
middle of
got
saying
us.
Avengers Assemble, bro.
Dude, yeah, I almost flipped my popcorn when he said "flame on." Like it clicked in my head. I was like, "No way!" Like I
When
wasn't
he
thinking
said
it the
it,
entire time.
dude, no, I did not even a thought in my head. And as soon as you see his hair, you should know. Like, you should have known, but you're not thinking it at all, obviously, because why would you?
Yeah, you just think it's like a different multiverse cat, dude. It's like, oh, they all look
Bro.
different. They got their different little.
Oh my god, it was so good.
Yeah, they
So
played
good.
that.
Okay, so that
well.
moment happened, and I let out the most loud noise that I made all movie, which was this audible, oh, like that volume. All right. Keep in mind, my theater was rocking. Okay. People in the front row stood up. I watched people get out of their seats when that happened, dude. My theater was so fucking cool, dude.
Dude, that's almost like I know we were talking about it earlier, how I was like, oh, it was kind of cool that my theater didn't have a lot of people. That's something that I was definitely missing out on, because like I wanted to get hype at some stuff, but it's like I would have been the only one in there and people would have been like, dude, we're a movie.
Yeah, I
like
know.
there was no like if there was a row of people standing up, I could have been like, yeah guys, isn't this great? Isn't this great?
Dude, the people next to me were hitting each other when shit was happening. They were like fucking damn near punching each other in the arm. Like they were fucking excited to shit. And they were so loud that it made me like I didn't care. I was that happened. I let out like and I was laughing my ass off the whole time. Like the people in the front row stood up when it happened. Like I'm telling you, dude, I fucking would go back to that moment every time I got the chance, bro. That was peak. Like that moment specifically, like the whole theater experience was lit, but that moment specifically in the movie was by far the best part, like to me at least. There was a lot of things I loved, but that was like, it literally doesn't get better than that. That's as good as it gets.
Yeah, dude. There was a lot of things that caught me really off guard, but that one hit me the hardest. That was like,
yeah, by far.
Yeah, they went there. And then he was like wearing the suit the rest of the time, had the Fantastic Four shit on.
Yeah. His death was crazy too.
Yeah.
Can't not talk about the way that they and then Deadpool being like, "What do you think?" He like, we couldn't keep him in for the rest of the movie. The budget, guys. Like, yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
I think the next cameo that you absolutely have to talk about would be dramatic suspense.
There's just so many.
I didn't even know Channing Tatum was gonna get a movie as Gambit. I didn't even know that was a canceled project. Yeah.
Oh, he
had a whole movie that got canceled, and in fact, the tweets and the interviews, or whatever, I don't know what it is, have came out like and resurfaced since then, where he's like pretty candid about how he couldn't watch Marvel projects because of how big of an effect his Gambit movie getting canceled was. It was because he loved the character so much, he fought for the movie to even get made in the first place by Marvel. And then when it got canceled, he was so fucking beat up over it. He fucking didn't even watch Marvel. He like couldn't, is what he said. And then this is the way that he came back. And to be honest with you, I think if that movie just came out, it wouldn't have been good, and people would have shit on it because his Gambit is hilarious. But I think that people absolutely love him as the character now because it was the perfect way to introduce him as it. Like, it was so good.
Yeah, maybe
in a Deadpool movie, like, yeah, bro, because it's just the right amount of goofy for Gambit. You know what I mean? Like, even though Gambit can be a very serious character at times, like, it was just perfect enough that it was like, I can do it. I can actually like immerse myself in it, and it's okay. It doesn't totally check me, but it was hilarious to see. My favorite line in the whole movie, aside from the flame on, was where Deadpool says, "Is your dialect coach the fucking minions?" I was crying, dude.
Speaking on that, not gonna lie, I felt like he could have done the accent a little better. Like, it felt like he was kind of throwing his own spin on it. Yeah.
It's horrible. It's the worst French accent I've ever heard in my entire life, but it was perfect for a Deadpool movie. Like a movie where it was supposed to be funny. It was like, yeah, bro, like you deserve to get that movie canceled. I'm sorry, man. That was you're not doing it. I'm checked. But for a Deadpool movie where it's supposed to be goofy, I loved it. I was like, this is the shit.
He also
could he get his own
like
movie now? Maybe.
Too, like he seems like too stocky. Like he seems like too like short and stocky.
He's not skinny enough. Yeah. I feel that. I need my Reed Richards to look like a nerd. I need my Gambit to look like a fucking croissant eating Frenchman. Like,
I'm mainly just going off of the that X-Men 97 show because I haven't really read like the comments or anything. I don't really know how he looks in there, but in the show, like especially his voice. Like I was listening to Channing Tatum talk, I was like, man, I'm just not getting the 97 Gambit from this.
No, yeah, but 100%. Yeah, I was dying.
But yeah,
I'm glad you didn't know that he had a movie either. Because when I found that out, or like a movie canceled rather, like when I found that out, I was mind blown. I was like, I had never even heard about this at all. It was crazy. In fact, I haven't even fact checked that to make sure that was true. I just heard it in a video, and I don't even remember which video it was because I've watched so many videos about the movie since I've watched it.
I thought all his like power stuff was pretty cool though. Like when he's actually like that.
Oh yeah, they did that really well.
Yeah, I thought
that fight sequence is really fucking cool. Yeah, I think that all the fight sequences are really fucking cool.
Bro, what do you like? What do you think your favorite one is? Like I've got like
by far the car.
The car?
By far, yeah, by far. The fucking car was awesome. I mean, that was fucking the UFC, like, car boxing. But Wolverine and Deadpool. Like, that is the coolest thing First of all, you know that somebody was sitting in a writer's room and pitching that, just pulling it up on YouTube. Like, hey, you ever seen these guys fight in a car before? It would be really cool if our favorite fucking superheroes ever did that. Like, and they ran with it. Like, that's so cool, bro. That's the fucking best. And not only did they run with it, they made it so fucking good. It looked amazing.
Yeah, dude, all the fights in this were shot really well. I thought
They
did
were
great
all
with
sick. So good. I loved Mahershala Ali. Fucking phenomenal. His fighting was super cool. That's why I'm bringing it up. Same with Gambit. Gotta reiterate his abilities, seeing them in live action, even his like staff or whatever, and then the way that he would like walk away with the boom, like they did it really good. It was sick, and it was just the right balance of like not being Suicide Squad-y. You know what I mean? Like where it's like goofy to like a to a fault, not to a fault. 'Cause Suicide Squad's good, but like to where it's like Ragnarok, but Suicide Squad was a better example. Like, it's not goofy to where it's like, that's the like, it's not too far. I don't know how to say it. They did Deadpool goofy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a type of fight and a type of characters getting together where like they could have absolutely done it too far and not made it as cool. But like, to the movie's credit, it's done just the right level of like dope and still fun. And it's awesome.
It almost feels like a different level of self-awareness.
Thank you. It's like as if people who actually care are in there. I mean, just say it.
I mean, like, comparing it to, like, Suicide Squad, though. Like, Suicide Squad is obviously, like, self-aware that they're trying to be, like, funny.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Deadpool definitely is, too, but, like, they're almost, like, different levels.
But they're to their level of it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, to Deadpool level. You know what I mean? Like, they have a specific bar that only they can meet. And they have that because of the other two movies. And like, I think they did a perfect job of meeting it. Like, not just for that fight, but in total, like as a movie whole. I think that the mark that they needed to meet for still feeling like a Deadpool film, like in all, like both the levels of goofiness and the one-off story element of it. You know what I mean? Because like, this kind of brings it back to the original point that we were talking about with like, it didn't feel like it had very big MCU implications, which I agree with. Like directly, it didn't. But in hindsight, I think it will. But they needed to make sure that it didn't feel like they were shoving that down your throat. And they could still make it feel like a one-off Deadpool movie for all those people who have only just seen the first two and just came for Deadpool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that they found that balance to a T. It was so perfectly done.
Speaking of,
and that was my biggest fear about the movie, for sure.
I like how all three of them like feel so like similar, like almost like how they're all like shot and directed. Like how, say for instance, the opening scene of this one, it's like just kind of jumping into the middle of things, and then there's like some slow mo. He's like, you're probably wondering how we got here, and it like jumps back.
And then they cut back. Yeah, they have. It's like I hate to compare movies again, but I'm keeping it in the MCU, keeping it in the fam. It's like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like if James Gunn isn't fucking doing that shit, and they aren't doing the story the way that they want to do, it's gonna feel like a different franchise. Like it's not gonna feel like a Guardians movie. But they've maintained what a Guardians movie can feel like throughout all of those. And I've previously said it feels like what a live theater experience feels like when I watch a Guardians film. And there's no other movie that I can say feels like that, because it's like the feeling of getting together as a family and doing something together like once, and it's gonna live in that time and in that moment is gonna be like forever, and we're never gonna have that again. Like even though movies like you can rewatch, like that's the feeling that I get from watching a Guardians movie, and they've been able to maintain that through all three of them. And that's the same thing with Deadpool. They've been able to maintain the feeling you get when you watch that first one or the second one, even in this third one. And it's to their credit. Not every franchise can do that. And that's very fucking cool.
Definitely got their own very specific style and everything. You can tell you're watching a Deadpool movie when you're watching it. Ryan Reynolds.
They're very rewatchable.
Ryan Reynolds straight kills it too, dude. He was
born for that fucking role.
Yeah, like he came out the womb in a red suit, dude, I swear.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, yeah, he was the one who fought for that role, very similar to like what they're saying Channing Tatum did for Gambit. Like, he was the one who came to Fox and was like, hey, like, look at me. Don't you think it'd be pretty cool to make a Deadpool? Like, and then they kind of shoved him into Wolverine is how I was hearing it, I think in a Screen Crush video. And I was like, dude, yeah, I mean, thank God, because like, look at him. Like, he's fucking born for this, dude.
Trying to think of what else.
Got plenty.
Oh, we got plenty. I know, but we just keep leapfrogging around. My brain's all fucking...
Yeah, we've tied things back.
Oh yeah. We do
I think we should talk about the TVA.
The TVA.
I think the TVA specifically is the part in the movie the most that if you didn't watch anything else that would feel weird. But I think that they did it well, and we've already talked about that. But I want to talk about specifically what the fuck they look like now, because this is our first time seeing them post Loki season 2, obviously. And I think that, you know, everybody fasten your little tinfoil caps just a little bit here. I think that they are probably going to be the perspective from which we're moving forward, if you will. Does that make sense? Like we're going to be kind of looking at things from the TVA's perspective from here on out, no? Doesn't it kind of feel like that?
I mean, not necessarily from their perspective, but I feel like they're always going to kind of have this sort of overarching like influence now. Like it feels like they're right. Like kind of always there.
Yeah.
Even though like they're not necessarily dropping a bunch of stuff like at a time, but like they're yeah, like I feel like it would be hard to like bring up or honestly talking about that, their next projects, Agatha and Captain America. Those I was gonna say it'd be hard to bring up a new project not discussing that, but those two I could actually see them not talking about it at all. Like it doesn't even exist.
Agatha makes me think about Wanda, dude. Like how the fuck is Wanda just gonna sacrifice herself in all the Darkholds in every universe, and then we don't get to hear from that forever, bro? Like where is she? What is going on? Like is she really dead? Is this what we're doing? We're just gonna reset the MCU and she's just dead? She collapsed the fucking temple on herself and now she's dead? Like no, that's oh yeah, really cool Easter egg in the base, like the where the cameos happen, you know what I mean, where Blade and and Gambit come in. Okay, in the background of that, I watched in a video, they pointed out the Scarlet Witch statue from the back of the temple where she kills herself, presumably, is in the back of their base. Like that got sent to the void.
It was like above the little water pool. It was like in the ceiling.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, like you could. Yeah, it was in a lot of shots.
I didn't even
that was
see
something
it when
I was
watched
looking at
it the
too.
first time.
It's because when they first the first shot of them in the base, it like pans over her head or whatever, and then like in some wide shots of the base, you can see like it's above the little water pool that's in there.
Bro, I thought that somebody was Sherlock Holmes when they found that. You saw that, and apparently it might have been obvious. I am not observant. I didn't see that shit at all. I was so excited to see Channing Tatum, I think.
Channing Tatum. Dude, I was flipping out seeing everybody. As soon as I saw Jennifer Garner fucking Elektra, I was like, holy shit, bro. If Ben Affleck fucking Daredevil walks through these doors, that is going to be insane. And then they're like, oh no, yeah, like, oh yeah, he's dead. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, no. No, my boy. Yeah, bro.
And there's no question about which Daredevil they were talking about either. Like they were obviously talking about Ben. Yeah.
As soon as she walked through, it was the old Daredevil. It was still cool seeing all.
So funny though. Yeah, dude. So sick. Like those cameos, so good. Like I couldn't have ever, and so cool that they were kept secret.
Yeah, that's another thing too. So like they were able to keep all this so under wraps so well, dude. Yeah. Like nothing about this movie came out like early.
I heard nothing. Yeah, I heard nothing at all. It was just so sick because this seemed like one of those movies that, I can't believe that all stayed under wraps. And then any of the things that I did hear didn't even happen. Like Blake Lively being Lady Deadpool. Like even if she was, they didn't make it a thing. It's not like they revealed it or anything. Yeah, so it's like that was a leak or a rumor or whatever, but it wasn't even a spoiler, if you will. You know what I mean? Because it was like,
she never like
they could change out who was under that mask and it wouldn't matter. Yeah, and so sick, dope, love it. No spoilers, was awesome.
Speaking of the cameos, one more time, like the second most unexpected was probably X-23 coming up, honestly. Like her walking through, I was like, oh, no shot. Like I don't know why. I know they were like, it's a Wolverine or Deadpool and Wolverine movie, but I don't know why. I just never expected her popping up. But it was like,
so actually, I know I was just all hype about no spoilers and everything, but that is actually the one spoiler that I saw before I watched this movie. Was that she was in it. Yeah, which was kind of a bummer, I know, but also I have to confess, I've seen all the X-Men movies aside from Logan, and that really hurt while I was watching this movie. I've got to be honest
You
with
have
you.
not seen Logan?
I've seen every single one of the X-Men movies when I was doing my rewatch before this, but Logan I didn't watch because I was saving it, and then I never got around to it,
Oh
and
my
I just
gosh.
haven't seen it. And so yeah, but that also made that spoiler kind of not hurt as much, if that makes sense, because I
Yeah,
was
that
like
too.
not as attached to it. So anyway, I digress.
Yeah, because after that movie, like, that's the last you ever hear from her or anything. Like, and that was
I also like that
forever
they
ago.
didn't resurrect him, because not seeing that movie, then learning now about how it ended, a sick ending, dope ending, and I would have not liked if they redid that and reanimated him. That would have sucked. I like that they left it like that. That's kind of dope. Like, they like kind of honored that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, originally kind of felt like they were going to go that direction, because they were saying, like, Logan was its own, like, standalone thing. That story's done. Like, I didn't think they were going to try to touch on that too much.
In one of these videos I was watching about like the movie, they said in the comics a drop of blood once resurrected him. Like a drop of his blood hit a bone, and it was like, and Wolverine has been reanimated. And so my nerd brain was immediately like, well, if it's happened in the comics, then they could have done that in the movie, and so thank God they didn't do that.
Oh, shit. We missed fucking Thor
Oh, it's
and
past 6 o'clock.
Sabretooth, too. Dude, was that Thor in that little thing? Did you see that? I couldn't
What,
tell.
crying over Deadpool?
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was actually.
Oh yeah,
That
dude,
was
he
actually
made like
Chris
8
Hemsworth?
jokes about that afterwards. That's why he was like joking about Thor all the time in the movie.
Yeah, I just didn't know if they had like some different like actor doing it. Like, it almost looked like. I was
Oh, you
like,
thought he looked different?
Yeah, I was like, is that Chris?
No, that's
Hemsworth?
actually the scene where he's crying over Loki. They just
and then they
put
just put Deadpool in there.
yeah.
Makes sense.
See, I actually didn't know that the first time I watched it, even though I should have, because it's a pretty iconic like moment. And I mean, you remembered it right away when I said it. You know what I mean? So like, I should have the first time too, but in my head, I immediately went to what they insinuated, which was like, oh, that's gonna be a future moment. Like, Deadpool's fucking important as fuck. Like, that guy is got Thor crying over him in the future. Like, that's insane. Like, something crazy is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, why does Thor care that fucking much about him? Like,
That
and all of
actually
this
is a
just
great
started running
point.
through my head. But then I watched a video about the movie, and it was just the scene with Loki, but with his face on it. So immediately I thought, oh, it was just Paradox like fucking with him, because they were even like mouthing the words that he was saying, like as he was saying it. You know what I mean? And like they had watched it a million times, like watched Thor cry over his body like a million times. You know what I mean?
I think
And
that
so
was
I was
for
thinking,
the
like,
Logan scene. That was like at the end of that, because they were like, "Oh, this Wolverine's the shit.
Oh, am I
We
mixing it
fucking
up?
love this." Yeah, they were like, "That this Wolverine's
Oh.
the shit. We love this guy." Blah blah blah. And then right as he was dying with X-23 or whatever, but like,
But
still,
still.
yeah, like they could still be like messing with them, because that's already a scene that we know happened. They could just be
Yeah.
doctoring it up to be like, "Oh yeah, this did happen."
That's what made me think it wasn't in the future. But also, it could be an alternate timeline. Like, it could be a timeline where, for whatever reason, he dies in that fight instead of Loki, and
Dude,
Thor really cared.
I wonder if him, like, or Mr. Doctor, whatever, Paradox, saying that, like, oh, Deadpool's important, the people higher up think you got something going on, if that's, like, actual cap, or if he's being for real about that.
Good point. I'd not thought about that, because I thought that was true. But then, what's-her-face comes down from Loki. I can't remember her name. The head of the TVA now, it seems. Like,
B something.
there it is. I knew it was
Yeah.
something that I couldn't have remembered. She didn't really seem like to acknowledge that, or make it seem like he was. Aside from maybe where she says to Wolverine, "Oh, your past made you who you are. We can't change that. Whatever." Like, that's the only thing that I can even kind of attribute. But that's not even directly to Deadpool. But I guess the same kind of implies. You know what I mean?
Who knows? Maybe Loki is sending down those orders. Like, this guy's gonna be important later. Go get him.
Right.
Like, we saw where Loki ended, but we don't necessarily know if he has like any sort of affiliation with it, or if he's just kind of stuck out there. Because when Kang was out there, he was able to control stuff.
Oh, we got our tinfoil caps fucking
Dude, it's fastened, dude.
Oh,
I'm
they
adding more
are
foil.
fucking. We got a fucking. What's it called? What, like, you know when you put a helmet on and they got the chin strap? We got a chin strap attached to our fucking tinfoil helmets. We're locked in.
The chin strap is also made of foil. Yeah, dude. I'm
Oh
getting
my
as much
God.
foil as I can on my head.
That would hurt.
No.
No, but while we've got these fucking tinfoil hats fastened, dude, they teed up Secret Wars. I mean, we basically watched them avenge that shit show of a Disney Plus TV show. They're
Dude.
teeing this baby up.
Dude, they're teeing this baby up. Dude.
You can jump to different fucking dimensions with the Doctor Strange ring.
That's honestly a great point. That I
Bro,
didn't
they
notice.
jumped from the fucking middle of nowhere, the void, with the ring.
That also brings up, why didn't Doctor Strange just jump out of there when he got sent there?
Ooh, great
And
question.
any other
How'd he
Doctor
die?
Yeah, how do all these sorcerers die? Well, it's not like she has all
Well-
these ring things, but like,
Actually, that's a great question. These are fucking phenomenal questions. Write that down. Write that down.
yeah, somebody write this down.
Fucking, that's a great question. Yeah, why? How come he didn't just dip? How come he didn't just leave? You really think he didn't know that you could use that thing to go to different dimensions?
If he was checking
But
stuff
Cassandra
out, dude,
did?
he is a doctor.
She
Alright.
ain't no sorcerer supreme. I mean, I guess I always thought he was good with his hands, bro. That's crazy. But I think we need to, now that we've gotten here, focus on what I don't know if I've said favorite part of the movie yet, but not favorite part of the movie, but favorite favorite thing to happen in a long time. I guess maybe that's not right either. Hold on, let me find a good title for this.
Oh yeah.
It'll come to me. I just love that. I'll tee this up like this. I really liked Kang.
Yes.
Kang was sick. Jonathan Majors was, aside from Deadpool, my favorite addition to the MCU in a very long time. Cassandra Nova was so motherfucking good as a villain. The way that they made her mind probe, like the read minds with her fucking fingers going into the people's skulls and just fucking through nostrils and out your ears and shit. The way that she portrayed Cassandra, not knowing anything about her, just knowing this movie, unfucking believable villain, so well portrayed, so well fucking written, and then the visual effects to top it all off being the way that they were. It made me forget about Kang. I don't even give a fuck about Jonathan, dude. I
Sheesh.
want Cassandra, dude. I want Cassandra all day, dude. She was sick. She was so fucking cool.
Yeah, she honestly was a pretty good villain. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, dude.
I do feel like the show was like building, or not show, the movie was kind of building excessive layers almost, I will say, because like early off the rip it looks like the TVA is almost the like antagonist, like Mr. Paradox.
Yeah, like
specifically, 'cause
Paradox
he's
is
like,
gonna be-
yeah, he's like, oh, I'm gonna prune your timeline, you got to do all this stuff. And then now we
Yeah.
got this extra villain, Cassandra Nova. It's like, who's really like, so what's going on right now?
I totally feel that. I think that to the point that we made earlier about the movie still feeling good for people who didn't watch the shows, I think it was important that the real big bad, quote unquote, if you will, wasn't the TVA or wasn't Paradox, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, I can see that.
So I think that it was an important part to the movie that still worked well, but that I think that you can still mention as a point, not necessarily against it, but as like it's a very delicate thing to write, like, for sure. I mean, not that we've never seen entertainment where there's a plot A and a plot B in the same story. Like, that's not uncommon at all. But for there to be two villains that are so new, but then still like prominent characters in the story at the same time, and write that in a movie at such a delicate point in the franchise and like the business as a whole was quite the risk, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it paid off. The movie definitely was cool, but like it was something I was thinking about. I was like, we got a lot on our plate right now. Like we still got the TVA, and then we're jumping back to Cassandra, and then we got the TVA still ripping time stream. It's like, okay, I guess they are still going through with that. Oh, but we're still trapped.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Deadpool even acknowledged it. I mean, kinda. He's like, oh, we're in the home stretch. You know what I mean? He's like,
Yeah, he said, don't worry, we're getting this wrapped up here.
which was like both a nod to its runtime, which wasn't that long, to be fair,
No.
but also, and didn't feel long at all with how much fun it was, but also it was a nod to like how much was happening, I think, which is why I remembered it in this point.
Speaking of like the fourth
writing is
wall
great.
breaks and stuff, like this movie did pretty much exactly what I wanted it to, with just like having almost the right sort of like self-deprecation on the whole situation. Like it's like
Good balance. Yeah.
like the Deadpool and Wolverine versus like the 100 Deadpools, where he's like, listen guys, this multiverse stuff, it's not working out. All right, it's getting it's getting overplayed, all this stuff. I was like, yes, oh, this is exactly what I wanted you to do. Just look at the camera and just talk about this stuff. And he does like pretty much all movie.
Yeah, I like that they didn't shy away from it at all either. Like, which I didn't think that they were gonna do. But then I also like that they didn't like overdo it at all. I felt like I was still immersed in the movie, you know what I mean? Which is what the other two movies did great. But I think my favorite part about it was that they fucking did it off the rip. Like he's singing the intro. He's dun 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 dun, dun like with it, dude. Which is what everybody in the theater does anyway. Like at least in their head, you know what I mean? Or even at home when you're watching Disney Plus shows, bro. And so for him to do it, and for it to like, it was the perfect tone setter, if you will. Like right away, they were jumping right into it, and I was fucking all here for it, bro. It got me giddy off the jump. I was like, dude. It was perfect, dude.
Bro, it was cool like seeing him, like him being able to like be in this space. It was cool to see him like go into the sacred timeline and talking to Happy Hogan, trying to be like, oh dude, I want to become an Avenger, blah blah blah. Like scenes like that weren't possible back in the Fox movie. It's really cool to see stuff like that, dude.
Yeah, for real.
Stuff like that.
That scene is super underrated. Low-key, it can get lost in everything because it's not as important to the plot, if you will.
Yeah.
That's a fun scene, dude. I forgot about that, to be honest.
Yeah,
that
he's like,
scene
aren't
is
you
really
the
good.
chauffeur? He's like,
yeah, bro, weren't you the chauffeur? He's like, actually, I was more than that. I got moved up really quickly. Okay.
Yeah, dude, that was hilarious.
Dude, fuck yeah, that scene was really good. And then the way that he's like, yeah, this is the getting up now part. Yeah, we're getting up now. Like,
yeah.
And it was good too. Yeah, fuck yeah, that scene is hella funny.
And speaking of the sacred timeline, I really thought he was going to end up in there, like after it was all said and done. Like I know, like I guess like he is like a part of the MCU now, but he's still not a part of it, you know? Like the MCU is still going on.
Where did he end up?
He's still like in his.
He's at the TVA, right?
No, it ends off with him just like back in his like original world or whatever. Or I guess like
post-credit scene.
I guess the post-credit scene, yeah. But I mean,
does that imply that he can go to the TVA? Maybe he really is important. Wait a second.
I mean, as a fourth wall character,
really
he
is
can
important.
just walk from scene to scene, panel to panel. You know, he can just do whatever he wants, technically. But
I guess, huh? We saw fucking She-Hulk on our Disney Plus screen. So
yeah, she literally went to Marvel Studios and talked to Kevin.
Bro, she kicked the fucking writer's door room in. Yeah. That was another thing. Deadpool said Kevin's name by name in the movie. He calls out Kevin, but which Kevin?
But which Kevin?
Because there's two.
Is it mechanical?
And which one has more power? I mean, Kevin Feige's got more power, but dude, we can't just leave Kevin, man. I mean, come on, dude. Kevin's canon, all right? I need Kevin wrapped up. That's a loose end in my book.
Hashtag Kevin's canon. Put that on.
So is White Vision. All right, I didn't see him anywhere. I had my eyes peeled. Just saying.
This would have been the
Agatha,
time,
though, like you said, it's coming up. He could pop up anywhere. Please.
That would be insane if he popped up there.
Dude, what would be insane is my fucking 2019 prediction coming true. I don't know when I did it. I don't know what year it really was, but fuck, man, that would be so cool. I'd start a YouTube channel that day.
Yeah.
Dude, you would see my fucking channel upload its first video that day. It would take off too.
Like you guys
the thumbnail would be my comment too. Like I could see it now. Millions and millions of views. My next video gets none, but that video would be fun. All right, Deadpool. Hold on, we gotta lock in. Deadpool. The post-credit scene was awesome. Since we talked about that, that's a fucking great post-credit scene. I don't even hate that it didn't tee up anything. I loved it. It was so good.
That is like an interesting thing to bring up though. Like the movie technically ends off, he's in the like world or whatever, but when the post-credit scene pops up, he's back in the TVA. So when did that happen? Like, and is he
that has to happen afterward because he's addressing us at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Like he's like, hey guys, look at here.
But like it could have been like right after the like battle when like the TVA, like he's still kind of hanging out with them or whatever. Like I guess like maybe him and Wolverine go back to the agency before they get sent back to the planet or their like normal world. Who knows? great point to bring up though. But I really thought he was going to end up in the sacred timeline. Like it's kind of weird that like he's still off in like his other like Fox universe, but like they can obviously just pluck him whenever they need him for whatever.
Actually, I mean, this is a great segue. Let's talk about loose ends and where they lead off to and what this set up, which in my opinion is sort of Secret Wars, but what I think they're doing and what I think I've watched a few videos talking about is the Avengers versus the X-Men. And I think that they teed it up at the end of Captain Marvel when Beast, is that his name? I don't yeah, right?
Or blue dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he is there with Monica Rambeau. Is that who it was at the end?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, that movie was a bit of a what's it called? Hallucination. But that post-credit scene was supposed to be important, I think, because she went to a different dimension, like because of the Chavez star, or
I honestly don't even
rip in
remember
time.
that movie.
It was no, it was a rip in it was rip in space and time. I don't remember how it happened, but it happened. And then it brought her to the presumably Fox universe, but could be anywhere that had the X-Men that looked like that. But we know the X-Men looked like that in the Fox universe. And so I think that they left him there on purpose because it's teeing up the Avengers versus the X-Men. Because it was an important thing, I think, and I noticed right away, that Wolverine acknowledges that the Avengers and the X-Men both exist in his world. Even though the Fox universe doesn't ever acknowledge that the Avengers are there during that time. But
they weren't allowed to.
That Wolverine acknowledges it. And he even implies that he kills them all. And that's why his universe sucks. And why they all hate him.
Dude, that's another thing that I'm like not fully 100% on.
They
like
didn't
what
fully
did he do?
divulge.
Yeah, what
But
did
it's pretty
Wolverine
heavily
do?
implied that he kills everybody. Like, and makes everybody hates superheroes because he killed everybody.
The way
It's pretty heavily implied.
The way I heard the story was like when him and X-23 are out there or whatever, he said like, I don't remember what he said leading up to it, but he just said like humans went to the X-Mansion or whatever, went to the...
Killed him.
Yeah, just
And
killed
he wasn't
him.
there in time.
Yeah. So like what led them to do that originally? I mean, I know like in the X-Men universe there's sort of this like kind of disgruntled like feud between some humans and mutants.
Yeah,
so,
that
like,
dynamic is there.
yeah, but like did a group of them just like round up and say, all right, we're gonna go kill some
rogue?
like
Yeah.
And next, how did they even do it? Like I thought they were going to try to allude to like some sort of say like the Sentinels killed him or something.
That's why I think he was lying. I think that it was maybe in part that, but I think that he did it. I think he fucking
killed the X-Men?
went berserk. Like, in part, perhaps, but definitely the rest of the superheroes and the people who killed the X-Men. Like, he says he was, like, non-discriminate. Like, he was killing the good and the bad.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure he killed all the superheroes, or at least the important ones, and made it even more so that the dynamic was that people hated superheroes or mutants and anybody with powers, if you will. And I think that's the state of the fucking Fox universe. Perhaps.
Well, like, I don't think it's
Or
necessarily
not the state
like
of the Fox universe, the state of his universe, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he's our Wolverine moving forward, right? Like this version. Not
Oh yeah, for sure.
because the Fox one's dead. So, I mean, that's pretty fucking important PTSD, dude. He's gonna probably see most of these people that he killed.
Yeah, that's gonna be something they definitely have to touch up on.
Like,
I'm sure they will end up touching up on too.
And if you really think about it, maybe I need to rewatch it, bro, because it's pretty heavily implied that if he killed the Avengers, he might have killed Cap. And he saw what he probably thought was also Captain America in the Void. And I don't remember him having any initial reaction or anything like that. Tinfoil Hat's fucking tight right now, by the way.
I also don't remember that, thinking about it.
Yes, like, which is easy to write off. It's okay. But notable. I think he killed everybody.
When he was saying like he was killing people good and the bad, I thought he was just meaning like he was just like straight up killing innocent civilians. Like he was just like, fuck it, like I'll just walk in and kill anybody. But that is a good point. He probably meant like he was just taking out superheroes.
Yeah, because I feel like it was implied that he was saying that he's the reason why they hate superheroes. Like, I felt like that was what was being implied. And I think that the reason was because he did that. Like, I think that that was his big, like, whatever, trauma dump, if you will. But they do not make it clear if they are only implying.
Yeah, that's something out the gate, or not out the gate, but like at the end of the movie, I was still a little confused on.
Yeah, it was the first thing I thought about. Well, actually, the first thing I thought about was that this movie has MCU implications, but it doesn't feel like it. And I liked that. Like, it only the nerds are sitting here with their fucking tinfoil hats thinking that this has such big MCU implications. And I love that. Like, that part of the movie makes me really excited because I didn't think it needed to. Like, part of me did think it needed needed to before I watched it. But after I watched it, I was happy that it didn't feel like that because I thought that a Deadpool movie needed not to feel like that, especially the first one in Disney now.
Yeah. Something I will point out, like right at the end of the movie, something I thought was this was what I originally expected Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness to feel like. Like that movie still had like
Great
a
point.
decent amount of like cameos and all that stuff, but like
We were expecting Avengers Assemble, and that's what this was.
Yeah, dude, like I don't know, like there's still like it's hard to almost compare them, but it's easy. Like they're both still kind of like multiverse stories, whatever, blah blah blah. But like I still just feel like Deadpool was how I was expecting Doctor Strange to be, and it just wasn't.
The hype and the build up for the movies wasn't the same. Like the Multiverse of Madness movie wasn't the only movie of the year, and it wasn't the same level of excitement, and so that element wasn't there for it. But the multiverse factor is still literally in the fucking title of that one, and so like that expectation is absolutely there. And with that obviously comes, who the fuck are we gonna see? And so I totally get that.
Yeah, dude, we saw.
And they didn't do a horrible job.
No, I thought they did
It
great.
wasn't
Dude.
this. Whoa. Hey, relax. Pull it back.
Whoa.
Yeah, pull it the fuck back.
thought
I
it
mean,
was
they gave us
phenomenal.
Reed Richards as Jonathan Krasinski or whatever. John Krasinski. But let's reel it in a little bit.
Oh, I was
Let's-
talking about Deadpool. Let's cast it back out.
I thought you were saying that.
No, let's cast
My
it back
my
out.
bad. I thought you were saying that Multiverse of Madness did a great job. I was like, let's reel it back in.
No,
let's
no.
hold our fucking horses.
Cast it back out.
Deadpool did a great job. They literally brought people that I wouldn't have even in my wildest imagination pictured walking in. Like, so sick. Like the people who fucking were sitting in that writer's room and said that these were the cameos that needed to happen either need raises or I need to know that it was Kevin, like so that he could just never do anything other than this again.
I wonder what got brought up but couldn't make it in.
I can name a few.
What you think?
You want me to start with the big one?
Yeah.
There's only so many movies that Spider-Man's allowed to be in, and this wasn't one of them.
That would have been great.
All right,
though.
and
Ryan
they
wants
made
it,
it
dude.
a point. One of the Easter eggs in one of the videos that I watched is that the picture frame in the back of Happy Hogan's desk in that little interview section
Oh, yeah, that's the
is
Tony Stark picture.
picture of Tony Stark with Spider-Man, but they had to cover Spider-Man with the helmet, which is heavily implying that it was a Spider-Man in like a young Peter Parker in that scene where in the first Avengers, I think it was, or maybe it's Age of Ultron, where he goes down and there's that little kid in the Iron Man mask and then he flies away and everybody's like, oh, it's definitely Peter Parker, but it's like never been confirmed. This was kind of their way of like saying it was him because he's the other half of that photo, but they couldn't legally show him in the movie because they didn't want to waste one of the movies in his contract. And so they put something to signify that it was him, and it was the mask that he wore in that little scene.
Bro, I think you were out of foil.
Dude, that wasn't even mine. That was in a video I watched. Okay?
No,
I think
no,
that was
that is
that
huge
was
brain.
good. That was so when I heard that I was like, bro, they had a whole year to make this movie and they did not disappoint. Like, or not a whole year to make this movie, but like this being the only movie this year is what I meant. Like this being the only thing they had to fucking hit a home run on. Like, thank God. Like, thank
They did
fucking
it, dude.
God, dude. Yeah. Ugh. They needed to do it, dude. Marvel Jesus needed a big hallelujah, all right? We needed a damn miracle, okay? And it came down from the glorious heavens and gave it to us.
Yeah, I hope this movie does really well too. Like, I hope the box
It's already
office
doing
does
really good.
great, dude. That's good.
Yeah, it's already breaking. It's already the highest grossing Deadpool film, I think.
Oh, what?
I could be capping on that. I think that was the stat I saw. That could be. Your reaction makes me really fucking doubt myself right now. But
I feel like
that's
maybe
what I thought I saw.
like opening weekend wise. But like
That might have been it. That might have been it. Highest grossing opening weekend for a Deadpool might be it. Yeah, that sounds.
yeah,
I'm going with that.
movie's been
The other
out for a
one you
minute.
had such a big reaction to. I can't. Yeah,
I'm sure it will though have the highest overall too.
I hope so. It deserves it, man. It's so good.
It really does. I hope they make a 4, 5, and 6 now too.
I hope they make as many as the Fast and Furious do. I hope that we fucking dude. I don't care. We'll send it, baby. This is it. No, don't do that. But yeah, man, awesome stuff. I can't wait to see him. Like, I know we just saw him in the MCU, but I can't wait to see him in the MCU, man. Like, his Avengers movies make me so much more excited seeing this cast grow with characters that like I genuinely actually want to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like these new Avengers movies are gonna come out and I'm gonna miss not having RDJ in it if he doesn't make a cameo, or miss not having Captain America, or miss not having fucking as much Thor or Hulk, or even though they're gonna be in it. You know what I mean? Like, I genuinely feel like they're building up a pretty good cast now. This makes me pretty happy seeing Deadpool, and I cannot fucking wait to see him again.
Yeah, I'm almost like mad at myself that I watched it so early, dude, because it's over now. Now we're like, all right, what's next, dude? Where's the next Deadpool movie at?
Dude, I can't wait to see him interact with She-Hulk.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Can't wait for him to just fucking laugh. I can't wait for him to just literally just roll over crying. Like, I just want him to fucking point and die. I want him to like point at her and laugh at her. I want him to take her, like how she pulled out the Disney Plus. I want her to be taken to the RottenTomatoes.com page, or like the Marvel subreddit where people are just shitting on her or something. Like, I want her to get the fucking treatment. Like, dude, that'd be awesome. It'd be so cool.
Yeah, this movie was
Deadpool's
pretty
such a good
great,
character.
dude. Great
Such
character,
a good
great
movie. So well written. This whole movie, so well written. So many good characters too. I cannot say enough about how much I liked Cassandra Nova either. Like, she was by far my favorite written character. By far. Like, she's so good. I liked it so much.
Yeah, she was really cool. She was like it was a cool level of crazy. Like, it was interesting seeing her like interact with people and stuff. Cause like, you can tell this lady is like out of her mind, but she's also very in her mind.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's-
that's
yeah.
a great way to put it.
Yeah, like she's smart as
Yeah,
fuck.
there's
but
a
she
lot of
also
levels to that
understands
to
saying.
those sentences.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. That's a little triple entendre
bar.
for you, dude. It's a little.
Dude, but it's very true. She was, yeah, a fucking maniac. I mean, dude, yeah, and she was, yeah. To that point about the writing, like, she's a character that if she doesn't come back, like in like a big bad sense, if you will, if this was like her time, I'm fine. Like, it's okay. Like, it was just so well written. It was so good. It was a great close. I was happy with it. It was fine. It was sick. It was good. Please don't ever ruin it. Is how I kind of felt.
Yeah, it was good, dude.
Man, it really makes me think about Kang, though, dude. I couldn't stop thinking about him the entire time I was watching.
Is Jonathan Majors gone? Like, he's done?
I feel like it, yeah. I think he's gone. I'm pretty sure they erased his name from the next Avengers movie. Like, I think he's done. And I haven't been following along with his like cases or anything, but I don't think he was acquitted of everything. Like, I haven't heard anything like that. I feel like I would have.
Damn, dude, that is insane. I think they're
Yeah,
just
and
fully
so-
switching over to Doom now, huh? If I'm not mistaken.
I mean, it's really hard to say this, especially when I just said how much I fucking loved Jonathan Majors, but we can recast him.
honestly,
I mean-
what makes me think they're not going to is because it feels like they're like pivoting so
haven't
hard
yet.
away from Kang. That, and they're like you said, like they're changing.
Yeah, they are pivoting.
It looks like they're going.
They're obviously pivoting. Yeah, like Loki season 2 ending was changed, and that came out like as like confirmed rumors, pretty much like that they scrapped the ending like last 2 episodes, pretty much, but definitely the entire last episode because of the Kang stuff
Dang.
or the Jonathan Major stuff. Sorry. And so, yeah, definitely pivoting. So, is it too late to recast? Or are there necessary things that have happened now that you need a Kang to move forward with? In my opinion, I think there have been. I think you are too deep to turn around. Like, to fully pivot. Like, I think there needs to be acknowledgement. There can't be none. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah, there.
Loki season 2 ending wasn't enough for me.
Acknowledgement.
like I
We
get
saw the
that
literal
Loki
whole council.
the
of Cameos.
timelines together, but he's not doing that forever. I can't believe it. Kangs are out there. They have to be.
Kangs are out there. They have a whole council. What is going on?
Yeah, you're saying it. There's so many loopholes, or not loopholes, but so many loose ends is what I'm like trying to say, that have not been tied together.
Oh yeah.
That like before we reset this MCU, can we please try and grab a few of them? Like Harry Styles at the end of that fucking eternally long sad movie, Eternals. See what I did there? And then
the Eternals again.
And then, but we gotta acknowledge fucking Harry. I mean, is he never coming back? That's insane. I mean, we can't just.
Maybe, but
And then-
if anything, I feel
And
like
then the
that'd
end of the
be-
Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie. Like, what's her face? I don't even know who she was. I only knew when I watched it in a video, and it was immediately out of my mind because they'd never gotten back to it. It fucking rips a hole in space and time and then says, I need you, and then they jump through.
That was like, I can't remember her name, but she's like the daughter of Dormammu or something like that. Or like his like ex-wife or something. She's like something to Dormammu.
Hey, yo, Dormammu got baby mamas out here?
He might. Or daughters.
That's great.
Or like, yeah, little young slimes out there. Yeah, I'm sure she's like
Damn,
something
Dormammu?
toward Dormammu.
We'll end up
hearing about.
Who's the mom? Anyway, yeah. This is my bad.
That'll be whenever Doctor Strange pops back up.
Yeah, bro. A lot of loose ends though, bro. And I feel like we're heading towards a hard and that's why I'm like it's still in the future. Don't get me wrong. Like dude, this is making me think about the fucking foliage, dude. Why am I not getting any notifications? It happened at 6 o'clock.
I actually have that.
Did you see my text?
Yeah, I knew that was going on. I saw the live stream right before I fucking left, but I also haven't seen anything.
Go to Twitter and look up the account discussing films. Or discussing film.
Oh yeah, that page is the truth.
I'm just gonna let you see what I just saw.
Is RDJ?
And then I'm gonna hear your reaction.
Is it anything with Robert Downey Jr.? Wait, what?
Do you see that? Do you see what I'm saying?
Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars.
Oh, go to the next one. Go refresh. One more time.
Dude, yeah, that's what I've been talking about. RDJ is Doctor Doom? Is that what we're talking about here? That's
Dude, you don't see Morbius getting a second movie?
Wait, what?
No, I'm just kidding. I just
how does this even make sense? How is he gonna be Doctor Doom? So are they gonna try to be like Tony Stark is Doctor Doom, or are they saying he's just playing Doom?
That'd be interesting. I don't know.
2026 Avengers Doomsday. Dude.
Bro, what in the
Avengers Secret
multiverse is
Wars
going
movie.
on right now?